That little brown bottle sitting in the back of your medicine cabinet. The one you probably forgot about after the last scraped knee. Most people look at hydrogen peroxide and think one thing: cuts, scrapes, maybe whitening laundry. But inside that cheap bottle is something a lot more useful than people realize, because hydrogen peroxide is not just a first aid product, it is an oxidizer. That means when it hits organic material, slime, mold, bacteria, larvae, or grime, it starts reacting. It bubbles, it breaks down, and then it disappears into water and oxygen. No fancy label, no monthly service plan, no guy in a branded polo telling you your treatment package starts at $249. Now let us be clear, this is not magic. Hydrogen peroxide is not going to save you from termites eating your framing, bed bugs in your mattress, or a real structural infestation. For that, you need a licensed professional. But for small household pest problems, the kind that start in plant soil, drain sludge, ant trails, damp cabinets, and rodent mess, that cheap brown bottle might be one of the most underrated tools in your house. So here are 5 things exterminators don't want you to know about hydrogen peroxide. And number 4 is the one most homeowners completely miss. Number 1. Fungus. Gnats are not really flying around your plant. They are breeding inside it. If you have ever seen tiny black flies hovering around your houseplants, you have probably met fungus gnats. Most people treat them like flying bugs. They buy sticky traps. They spray the air. They slap a few on the windowsill and think the problem is handled. But that is not where the real problem lives. The adults are just the warning sign. The larvae are in the soil, and they love wet soil. Colorado State University Extension says fungus gnat females can lay up to 200 eggs in growing media, and at normal room temperatures, their life cycle can complete in about 3 to 4 weeks. That means a few annoying flies can turn into a full houseplant infestation fast. And here's the part people miss. If you only kill the adults, you're basically wiping smoke off the wall while the fire is still burning behind it. The real move is breaking the cycle. Let the top inch or 2 of soil dry out. Stop overwatering. Use sticky traps for the adults, and then target the soil where the larvae are feeding. That is where hydrogen peroxide gets interesting. A common home method is mixing 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with about 4 parts water, then using it as a soil drench after the top layer dries. When it hits the organic material in the soil, it bubbles. That bubbling is the peroxide breaking down into oxygen and water. But the bigger lesson is not to dump peroxide on every plant forever. That is lazy advice. The real lesson is this: fungus gnats are a moisture problem wearing wings. Fix the moisture, and you attack the nursery. Ignore the moisture, and you will be buying sticky traps until the end of time. Number 2, drain flies are not coming from nowhere. They are coming from slime. You know the bugs, tiny, fuzzy, almost like little moths. They hang around bathroom sinks, kitchen drains, basement drains, laundry rooms, and showers. Most people see them and think, I need bug spray. Wrong. You need to clean the pipe. North Carolina State Extension says drain flies breed in polluted shallow water or moist organic solids, especially the muck, slime, and gelatinous film that builds up inside drains. Females can lay 10 to 200 eggs directly in that organic debris. That is disgusting. But it also explains why sprays fail. You can kill every adult fly you see tonight. But if that drain still has a layer of grease, soap scum, hair, food particles, and bacteria stuck to the inside of the pipe, you did not remove the breeding ground. You just killed the employees. The factory is still open. Virginia Tech Extension says the most effective control is eliminating the organic matter where drain flies breed, including scrubbing away the slime and sludge. That is where hydrogen peroxide can help. Pouring 3% hydrogen peroxide into a dirty drain creates that fizzing reaction people recognize immediately. It reacts with organic buildup. It helps loosen grime. It helps deodorize. And it makes the invisible problem visible. But here's the honest version. If the drain is packed with sludge, peroxide alone is not enough. You still need mechanical cleaning, a brush, hot water, drain maintenance, because drain flies are not a mystery. They are a sanitation report card. When they show up, your drain is telling on you. Number 3, ants are not wandering around your kitchen. They are following a map. That line of ants across your counter is not random. It is a chemical highway. Ants leave pheromone trails behind them, so the rest of the colony can follow the path to food. That is why you can wipe away 20 ants. And 30 more show up an hour later in the exact same spot. You killed the ants, but you left the directions. University of Nevada. Extension recommends washing ant trails with soap and water to remove the pheromones ants use to track food sources. It also points out that baits are usually the most effective way to eliminate the colony. That part matters, because this is where a lot of internet advice gets stupid. Hydrogen peroxide can help clean surfaces. It can help break up residue. It can be useful around counters, baseboards, and entry points where you are trying to remove the trail. But it is not a colony killer. If someone tells you a quick peroxide spray will wipe out the entire ant problem, they are selling you a fantasy. The better system is simple. First, remove the food. Second, clean the trail. Third, find the entry point. Fourth, seal what you can. And if they keep coming back, use bait so the ants carry the treatment back to the colony. That is the difference between panic spraying and actually understanding the system. Because ants do not invade like random chaos. They invade like logistics. They find food. They mark the route. They recruit help. And unless you erase the route, you are just fighting the same war every morning on your countertop. Number 4, mold is not just a cleaning problem. It is a pest invitation. This is the one homeowners miss. They see mold under a sink, behind a toilet, along a window frame, or in a basement corner, and they think that looks bad. But pests see something different. Moisture, organic material, shelter, a place where things can grow, feed, and hide. Mold is not always the pest itself. Sometimes it is the flashing warning light that tells you the conditions are perfect for pests. And the EPA is very clear on this part. If you clean up mold, but do not fix the water problem, the mold will most likely come back. That line right there is the whole game. You can spray, scrub, wipe, deodorize, pretend it is gone. But if the cabinet is still damp, the pipe still leaks, the bathroom still has no ventilation, or the basement wall still sweats, the problem is not fixed. It is paused. Hydrogen peroxide can be useful on small mold and mildew spots because it bubbles into grime and helps clean contaminated surfaces. But you have to use it correctly. Use normal 3% household hydrogen peroxide. Do not mix it with vinegar. Do not mix it with bleach. Do not mix it with ammonia. Test it first because it can lighten some materials. And do not play hero with major mold. The EPA says if the moldy area is less than about 10 square feet, roughly a 3 by 3 foot patch, many homeowners can handle it themselves. But if it is larger, tied to major water damage, or keeps coming back, that is when professional cleanup may be needed. So the secret is not just that peroxide kills mold. The real secret is this: mold tells you where the house is failing. And if pests keep showing up in the same damp places, they are not the cause. They are the evidence. Number 5, the mouse may be gone, but the mess can still hurt you. This is where people make the worst mistake. They find droppings in a garage, under a sink, in a basement, or behind a stove. They grab a broom. They grab a vacuum. They treat it like regular dirt. Do not do that. CDC guidance warns against sweeping or vacuuming rodent urine, droppings, and nesting material because it can push contaminated particles into the air. The safer method is to wet the material with disinfectant, let it soak, then wipe it up carefully. That is not paranoia. That is basic safety. Rodents can leave behind urine, droppings, nesting material, bacteria, and disease risk. So the cleanup matters. Hydrogen peroxide can be useful here as a disinfecting tool, especially for hard surfaces, but the key is contact time. You do not spray and instantly wipe. You wet the area. You let it sit. Then you clean it up with gloves and disposable towels. And again, do not exaggerate what peroxide does. It does not catch mice. It does not seal entry holes. It does not fix chewed insulation. It does not remove a colony living in your walls. But after the rodent problem is controlled, it can help with the cleanup process. And that matters because a lot of homeowners think the job is over when the trap is empty. It is not. The rodent was the visitor. The contamination is what it left behind. So there it is. 5 things exterminators probably are not rushing to explain. Fungus. Gnats are breeding in wet soil. Drain flies are breeding in slime. Ants are following chemical highways. Mold is exposing a moisture problem. And rodent cleanup is dangerous when you dry sweep it like normal dust. Hydrogen peroxide is not a miracle. It is not a substitute for a licensed pro when the problem is serious, and it is definitely not something to use carelessly. Household hydrogen peroxide can still irritate your eyes, skin, and respiratory system, even at 3%, so treat it with respect. But for small problems, early problems, the kind of problems homeowners usually ignore until they become expensive, that little brown bottle can give you a fighting chance. Because sometimes the pest problem is not really a pest problem yet. It is wet soil, a dirty drain, a food trail, a damp cabinet, a contaminated corner. And if you catch those early, you may not need a service call. You may just need to understand what the bugs were trying to tell you. That is the part nobody sells you. And that is why the cheapest bottle in your bathroom might save you from the most expensive visit to your house.